it's Ina the Mood Reader, and welcome to my February 2021 reading plans, plus a mini book haul at the end. So just like that, it's already the second month of the year. I had a fun January. I was able to finish 15 books, which I think is a good number, and today we're celebrating that with a plan on the books I will read for February. And as most of the bookish community would be doing, I would also be reading only romance titles for the whole month. And I have a lot of videos planned to bring you guys along this journey, but today I'll just be sharing some of the titles I've decided to read. I didn't mention the other books I'll be reading. I'll only be talking to you guys about the physical books I plan on reading this month, and this is quite an ambitious pile. For the first time in my life, I will attempt to to read 7 physical books in 1 month. And the first 2 books are part of the Bridgerton series. It's On the Way to the Wedding, and it's In His Kiss. It's really hard right now to find Julia Quinn books, especially the Bridgerton series. I don't know in your country, but here in the Philippines, it's getting a little harder because everybody loved Bridgerton on Netflix. So right now, I have finished the first 2 books. I also have physical copies of those books, and I also have number 7 and number 8. Number 7 and number 8. But I'll also try to grab some copies of the other books. Hopefully, I'll be able to find some copies of the books 3 to 6. But I'm planning on reading this 2 at least, and if I am not able to find the other books, I'll just read them on my Kindle. So yeah, the next book I plan on reading is You Had Me at Holla by Alexis Daria. This book was a stress buy that I did last December, and I don't know, it was one of my most anticipated 2020 releases that I wasn't able to read before 2020 ended. So I think this month is the perfect time to read this, especially this is a book about telenovela stars. Next, I plan on reading Mr. Nice Guy by Jennifer Miller and Jason Pfeiffer. I don't know much about this book, but I bought it together with this, The Perfect Date by Evelyn Lozada with Holly Lawrence, and I'm planning to read these 2 books. I bought them both at the same time. So yeah. The next book I plan on reading is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This is a carryover TBR. I chose this last January. I didn't have time to squeeze this in, so I'm still planning on reading it anyway, so I'll be reading it this month instead, hopefully. And lastly, the final book I want to read for February, I'm hoping to read for the month, is Want to Watch by Kate Stayman London. It is one of my most anticipated releases as well. Many people in the bookish community, especially in the romance-loving part of the community, have read this already. They said this is like a bachelorette type of book, but we have a plus-sized main protagonist. This was my add-on for my first book of the month buy. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this one as well. And basically, those are the books I'm planning to read for February. But of course, aside from the physical books, I also listen to audiobooks and read ebooks. So in case I have more time, I'm planning to read 4 arcs, and 2 of those are arcs I got from Wednesday Books. One is Slingshot and the other is Perfect on Paper. I have to admit I don't know much about them except for their amazing covers, and you know how much I'm a sucker for covers that are very pretty. So I'll be reading those 2 books. The other arc I am planning to read is Lemon Lavender is Not Fine. I'll be reading it for the prompt for the Buzzwordathon, which is happening every first week of the month, and the prompt for February is something with the any color on the title, so I'm going with lavender, which is why we'll be reading Lemon Lavender is Not Fine. And the last arc I'll be reading if I have extra time is the Cowboys Rodeo Rival. It's a random arc I have on my NetGalley shelf that is just 100-something pages short, which would be perfect for, you know, hitting those NetGalley goals. So basically, those are all the books I plan on reading. At the present, I'm listening to Crave by Tracy Wolf on Scribd, and after I finish that, I'm planning to read Crush, which is the second book in the series as well. It has very Twilighty vibes. It's about vampires. There's this normal girl whose parents passed away. She has to move to Alaska, and there is a vampire, I think, there. I haven't reached that part yet. I'm still on chapter 5, but yeah. Those are all my February plans. I'm actually not pressuring myself too much. I just wanted to read like romance titles that I already have. After all, I did the same in January, and it has been a successful reading month. So I'm hoping to have the same successes as well for this month. And before I end this video, I would just like to share with you some of the recent book purchases I was able to make. And just so you know, we were able to reach my book buying budget. If you have watched my resolutions video, I have mentioned there that I want to spend 3,000 on books per month. And this time, I was able to spend 2,900 something on books, which is perfect within the budget. So yeah, a few days ago, my family and I went to Ayala Malls, Manila Bay, and there was a Biblio there. And if you're not familiar with Biblio, it's another Filipino bookish thrift store. It's slightly pricier than your average book sale or chapters and pages, but sometimes there are good finds there, like rare titles or fairly new releases, and I was actually able to buy 2 hardcovers. And the first one is Modern Lovers by Emma Straub, and I was able to buy it for 350 pesos. Actually, 348 pesos. And it's a hardcover. The inside is fairly new. Well, there are damages in the dust jacket. There's a slight tear here. But I'm very excited because it's not like every day that you find this in a bookstore. And I think 350 is still a fairly cheap price for a hardcover. One that is especially like not used a lot. So yeah, and then the other book I bought was Tana French's The Trespasser. I think I saw this one as a book of the month selection way back, and I also heard about Tana French from Gabby Reads, my favorite booktuber, so I decided to buy this as well. This one is in pristine condition, like I bought it brand new, but it has a small remainder mark here. I was able to buy this for 398 pesos. However, the cashier in Biblio told me that this is actually a part of a buy one get one promo, and they gave me the chance to pick like another book out of the shelves. I didn't know what to pick. Most titles I'm not interested in. So I ended up with Jodi Picoult's The Storyteller. I haven't read any of her works before, but I've watched My Sister's Keeper. So I'm thinking this is a literary fiction, contemporary. Maybe that's heart-wrenching, heartwarming or something. So turns out that this kind is just 200 pesos, and I got another book that's worth 200 pesos from Biblio. And my final buy is actually something I never thought I would purchase. I wasn't that excited after all. I didn't know anything about this. But the Netflix adaptation for the Grishaverse is coming very soon. And I wanted to like dip my toes in and check out what the fuss is about. Your usual bandwagoner booktuber, and yeah. So this is the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Lee Bardugo. I found this one on Shopee. I would put the shop's link in the description box below. I think they still have stock of this. I was able to buy these books for 1,500 pesos for this box set. It's a little damaged, which is what you would expect naman for books that traveled a long way. And I would want to take a peek on the books. Wow, super nice. So this is the cover of Shadow and Bone. It has a step back, which is not something you'd normally get in fantasy books. Here. And then the second book is Siege and Storm. And it also has this step back inside. It's really pretty. And brand new. It's by the way, this came in sealed. I just couldn't resist checking out the inside. So this is Ruin and Rising, and another great step back on the inside. So yeah, I'm planning on reading these 3 books next month before the Netflix show starts. But I know that the series will be crossed between Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows duology. I haven't found a Six of Crows copy yet. I don't know where I could buy like the duology. So if you have like leads on where I could buy the duology that wouldn't have to take so long, please let me know so that I'll have both of the sets together. So yeah, basically that's it for this video. I have other purchases that weren't sent yet, but those are from chapters and pages. I have already an agreement with the store that they just collect my purchases until it reaches 10 books so that the shipping fee would be worth it. And right now I just bought 3 books from them, so it's going to be a long time, maybe before February ends. But I'll share my haul, my next chapters and pages haul, maybe at the end of February. Hopefully they have new and nice books coming soon, so I can spend more on the store. And that's it for my February reading plans. Please let me know, what do you plan on reading this month? Would you also be reading romance or whatever? Also, if you have recommendations on historical romance similar to the Bridgerton series, please let me know so I can pick those titles up. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye!